Hi there, my name is Silbeck, and you're the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. So, there's a TV show called The Boys, which I quite liked for the first season, and the second season also was pretty good. They had lots of very good splattery superhero effects. Although, I have to tell you, The Boys in general is an indictment against indictment. Is that mispronounced? Indictment. It's an indictment against Powers. Powers is the show that Boys should have been. It's the first time that they brought like superhero-y stuff into another like more realistic genre. You had like a street level view of it. Powers was, they kept trying to make Powers. They tried to make it twice, sucked every time. Second season, freaking awful. So The Boys really pulled it off. The Boys really pulled off putting superpowers into a world that we recognize them, extrapolating what it would be. So first season liked it a lot. Second season, got a little bit TDS, tedious and TDS. Which is, pretty much you've got to expect that from everywhere in Hollywood now. If they can keep that under control, that's the best you can really hope for. It really is. And that's where we are in 2020. Now, TDS, but that means the President Derangement Syndrome, because they all have it, and they all have this breathtaking lack of knowledge, this breathtaking stupidity and ignorance, which they did is no obstacle for them whatsoever. So with the showrunner of The Boys, was it Eric Kripke, just went out and said how much he doesn't understand about superheroes, which apparently is everything. He doesn't understand everything about superheroes. He probably understands how to make a good-looking TV, because that's a TV show, because that's exactly what it is. So we're gonna read that story together. Maybe it might generate some mirth. It might generate some mirth in your life, in my life, and that's really the whole point of all this stuff. But before we get there, can I ask you guys, can you hit the like button? That would be fantastic. Thank you very much. Can you hit this? The share button. The share button is always a good one. Share button is quite nice. But the button I like, my button I want you to press is the subscribe button. You hit the subscribe button, that would be fantastic. I'm trying to get to 2,000 subscribers. I'm launching a Indiegogo campaign shortly. So, the more subscribers I have, the better for that. Thank you very much. I am just pathetically great. I am absolutely pathetically grateful. I have competitions each week on this channel, which you can enter if you are a subscriber. So the prize this week is the fantastic, what year was this? 1976 Doctor Who adventure, Robots of Death. This is kind of like Agatha Christie's, Agatha Christie murder mystery on a sand miner in the far future. Now, this is the original version of the DVD, but also stuck inside it is my own personal bootleg burning of the special edition, so you get everything there. But just for me to, I figured I got the Blu-ray now, so I don't really need the DVD anymore. All you have to do to win it is subscribe to the channel, and in the comments leave the hashtag Taran Capel. It was going to be Robophobia, but I think we're going to go with Taran Capel as the hashtag. Good luck if you enter. We'll do the prize drawing, I guess, on the 25th, a week from today, when I'm on the TARDIS Zone. We're doing a watch-along of the Daleks in Manhattan, which I quite like, but apparently nobody else does. So there you go. So let's have a look at this article by talking about Eric Kripke. Because something I've always loved about superheroes. I'm a very Jewishy guy. Listen, I don't really hide my Jewiness, which is kind of like an incredible thing for the age that we live in. Most time Jews have been had to be a bit on the DL about their Jewish stuff. Thankfully, other than the massive upswing in anti-Semitism from the left wings of society, it's pretty much frowned upon today. Which again, pretty much puts us at a unique point in time and space. Something I always loved about our Jewish history was the reaction to the philosophy that created the very naughty National Socialists in Germany in the 1930s. That was really all based around the belief in this thing called an Übermensch. This is going to tie into comics, don't worry. This is going to belief that ties in, belief there is a thing called an Übermensch, the superior being, and they wanted to create the superior being and get rid of all the genetically impure people like the Jews and the Gypsies and anybody else who politically disagreed with them. Very very similar actually to those their extreme left wing progeny that we have in the world today. So I'm like filled with pride and joy that a couple of Jews took the American spirit and inverted that and created the superheroes. Siegel and Schuster. They took the idea of the Ubermensch and they did an American version of it, which is Superman. Superman is one of the first times when you have the idea of the strong helping the weak, of having a social responsibility to one another, of just being good people, truth, justice, and the American way personified. And so I would say that I think is the roots of all superheroes, of what superheroics is. It's like, again, it's pure Americana, and it's a pure good of Americana. Listen, people like to denigrate America. I think it's probably one of the greatest and most benevolent world empires that our species has ever seen. I genuinely believe that. Listen, I don't think you just looking at history. I don't think just looking at history that they like a nation, like an empire, can experience an incredible attack, an incredible world-shaking attack as America experienced on 9/11. And several years later, they will elect as their president somebody who has the same name as one of the people behind that connected to that attack. So it's I think America's a very loving and forgiving, and just a place of very very high values. I think personified really in Superman, again, truth, justice, and American way, and these are all things to look up to and admire. Unless you're a moron, unless you're an ignorant moron like Kripke. So we're going to read this now. So the Boys showrunner claims the myths of superheroes to have undeniable. I can't say the next word. It's a naughty. What's the word they say? I can't say it. It's the naughty National Socialists from Jody 1930s underpinnings. If you say it's a reaction to that, you're correct. I'm going to make a guess. It's not a reaction to it. And actually, something I really was really disgusting I found in Boys season 2 was the way that they equated the mainstream popularity of the president of the United States with the mainstream popularity of the Chancellor of Germany in the 1930s. Like the way they equated to, which again, if you know anything about history, it's not just an incorrect analogy, it's a vile analogy. I would say you're getting into Holocaust denial. Like when you start comparing places to process people who are illegally entering the country as humanly possible to those camps they set up in Germany and around Europe, where people concentrated very, very hard. Those camps. It's Holocaust denial. And again, I'm Jewish. This is like, I have skin in the game with this one. It is Holocaust denial. And I think that's what I found so objectionable about season 2 of The Boys. That, they said, people just don't like the word Yahtzee. They just don't like that word. But they still keep saying utter ignorant, vile nonsense. So let's hear from the horse's mouth. Yes, I'm ignorant, vile nonsense. The Boys showrunner Eric Kripke recently discussed the conclusion of the second season of the Amazon show by claiming the myths of superheroes have an undeniable FASCIST. I can say that probably underpinnings. But we'll find out. I guess we'll find out if I'll say that. Kripke spoke with the Hollywood reporter Seth Abramowitz. Really, listen, any Jew that sits through that and doesn't hit him in the face, not good, mate. Again, this is actually Holocaust denial. But in my opinion, who asked if any of the boys comes from a personal experience and where does the Homelander lie on the spectrum of white nationalism? Again, they got this thing in their head that like white nationalism is a thing. It's not. Here's why I don't think it's a thing. I don't know anywhere in America, in England, in the Western world, where you can walk around and loudly and publicly expose white nationalist ideals. I don't know anyone. I know plenty of places you can walk around openly and espouse the insane ideals of Antifa, who want to destroy America and hate America with every fiber of their being. That you can do. But so see, I think there's social acceptability for that. But I do not believe there's social acceptability for white nationalism. Because quite frankly, who doesn't like somebody because their skin color? Really? I mean, like, you have them, sure, they exist, but like they're few and far between, and they're not a potent force. It's incredible. Whenever I talk to people about this on the other side of the spectrum from me, they they just can't understand it. They can't. Like, there was this other YouTuber, really big channel, just a moron. The guy's a moron. Mr. Reviews, whatever. Anyway, so he couldn't understand how white nationalism exists, but it's not a potent force in America. The example I use is your boy Zach's example, which I think is a pretty good one. There's about the same amount of white nationalists in America as there are one-legged banjo players. One-legged banjo players. Now, I do not deny the existence of one-legged banjo players. I do not think they're a potent force in American politics, philosophy, or the national consciousness. But they exist. They totally exist. It's pretty much the same thing, with these white nationalists. But here's the thing. These insane people that live in Hollywood, these insane, ignorant, stupid people. One thing they really don't like is being wrong. They can't stand being wrong. And so they said, listen, you vote for this president, we're going to get those camps where you concentrate. It's going to be all... And they just can't stand being wrong. And so rather they made up this bizarre fantasy. I would say call it a bizarre fantasy where in fact the country was usurped and taken over by those white nationalists because they're all basically racist. They're all basically racist, which is just pure, simple insanity, right? Complete, pure, simple insanity. But doesn't matter. That it has you cannot relate this to the world as we live in at all. It doesn't matter, because they would rather believe a fantasy than the reality that they may have got things wrong, right? Because that's the kind of people they are. Not very good people. Showrunners responded, a few things. The myth of superheroes themselves, though often created by young Jewish writers, Siegel and Sousa in their 30s and 40s, doesn't really apply as cleanly today because there's these undeniable FASCIST underpinnings to it. No, it was a reaction to that, you utter ignorant moron. You might have been able to work that out. Had you looked at this picture, this cover, doesn't seem to be pro the National Socialists, does it? Doesn't seem to be pro. Seems to be a little bit anti. Look, tell you what, Eric, mate. I was going to say go to Blockbuster. I was going to date myself. Go and get yourself a copy of Captain America: The First Avenger, which I quite enjoyed. I did indeed quite enjoy. I think that was a reasonable depiction of how comic books saw those National Socialists. It wasn't complimentary. Wasn't in a good light. I do like that movie though. I got to watch that again. It's such a shame. So nothing good lasts forever, especially not in 2020. I limped through the Marvel Cinematic Universe towards the end. Basically, as soon as Ant-Man and Wasp came out, I was like, yeah, okay, time to leave. And then they had Captain Marvel show up, and it was a struggle just to stay in for Endgame, which really, okay, whatever. It's just so dumb, I have a complete collection of those Blu-rays, of the Marvel Cinematic Universe Blu-rays, except until it got to Captain Marvel, right? So I'm like, there's no way I'm buying that movie. I don't care. There's no way I'm buying the movie. And because that made it kosher in my head, not to be a completist anymore, I stopped buying them all together. I bought Endgame because I figured that's the cornerstone, that's the end stone, but Spider-Man. So they just lose money because they, much like comic books, they just hate American values. They just absolutely hate it. So now they got to justify that hate by saying, oh, those American values, they're actually the Yazis. Yeah, right. They're there to protect white patriotic America. No, 100% not. That belies a complete lack of understanding of what America is. It doesn't matter what your skin color is in America, especially in 2020. It doesn't matter what your skin color is. It matters that you're American and you can take advantage of the many great things that America offers you. Yeah, how many great things does America offer you? Well, pretty much everybody else in the world can see it, apart from these dumbass Americans like Kripke. Because why? There are people lining up, breaking the law to get in that country. That doesn't sound like it's such a terrible place to me. Doesn't sound so terrible. That's what they're designed to. Absolutely not. You can. You want to tell me truth, justice, and American way is white patriotic America? No. I can give you another great example. Again, this is not this is a fictional example, but I think it does underline the point. I think it reflects genuine attitudes. Now, one of my favorite TV shows is Mad Men, which recounts the entire 1960s. So you have a kind of sleazy character in that called Pete Campbell. But, he just sees Black America as this incredible untapped market. I think in season 2 or season 3, he's talking to the black elevator operator, right? And he's saying, what would you like, we want you to have the American dream. We want you to have the white picket fences. We want you to have this life. And it is an incredible good life. We want you to have that life of aspiration, of wealth, of happiness. That's the American freaking dream that anybody can achieve, and it doesn't matter who you are. And again, it's unique in the world, in history, in human history. And this idiot, because he's got his head up his ass and he wants to score woke points with his moronic friends in Hollywood who are just going to nod their stupid heads. So he denigrates, I think, one of the greatest goods in human history. So they're there to protect white patriotic America. No, they're there to protect Americans. Again, I've seen Superman ads with Superman saying, listen, doesn't matter who you are, we're all American. What's wrong with you? You utter blithering moron. And that's what they do. They're protecting the status quo. Elaborate. Yeah, the status quo is pretty darn good. Status quo was that, again, anybody could succeed if you just put work in. That's a pretty darn great status quo to protect. Let's keep going. Again, such an idiot. Kripke continued, when the status quo is problematic, how was it problematic exactly? Suddenly they become adversarial. I don't think anybody has worried about somebody's skin color for minimally 30 years. Minimally! Somebody said, oh, look, that guy's got a different skin color. He can't be an accountant. No one's ever said that. I'm just saying, oh, that person's a woman. She can't be a screenwriter. No one's ever said that. And if they did, they're freaking crazy people, and you don't have to listen to crazy people. Kripke continued, the status quo is problematic, suddenly they become adversarial. Not your hero. Yeah, listen, there was a move in the 80s to do something different with superheroes, to add layers of realism, which eventually led to The Boys, right? It led to that show. And by doing that, it kind of got in a backwater of self-loathing and self-hatred for it. When Alan Moore did it, it worked. Alan Moore, Frank Miller, it worked. But I think if Alan Moore had stayed in mainstream comics, he would have moved on from that and gone into the fun of comics, the silliness of comics. I think that's basically where he would have. I think that time in the 80s, Watchmen, Dark Knight, should have been a period and then moved on to something else. It got trapped there because people of less talent took up the mantle and they didn't really know what to do. I don't know you're here. So I think it was written by a lot of people who at the time were trying their very best to fit in and vanish within white Americans. Why are you looking at people's skin color? You incredible, insane racist. What again? There isn't white America, there's America. It doesn't matter your skin color. America is having that home, that semi-detached or that detached home with a white picket fence. You come home, you go, you work 9 to 5. You come home, you have a beautiful home, you have a beautiful family, and you aspire for your children to do better. That's America. Oh God, yeah. I'm sorry, it was mainly white people in the in the history. That's just the demographics. It doesn't mean they hated black people. And listen, they're all very, very sorry about slavery. But let's just be honest. Slavery was a normative economic force in the world. I don't really think you can blame America for it. In fact, I think you could credit America with the ending of that institution rather than the continuation of it. Then he went on to double down, claiming the myth of a superhero is FASCIST. He stated, but we just don't live in that time anymore. So the myth of the superhero taken straight from that, that's where it became one of those naughty National Socialists. Again, you're so fundamentally wrong. You're so fundamentally ignorant of the subject of your business. You're so fundamentally ignorant. It's breathtaking. Because they're protecting a world that doesn't and shouldn't exist. Superheroes are inherently MAGA. Exactly they are. Because America is great. Like, what's wrong with you? That if you equate somebody wearing a red hat to somebody wanting to make those camps, there's something insane about you. It's disgusting. Again, this is Holocaust denial. In terms of storefront, there was nothing specifically personal on it. It was just, I hate that. Yeah, they all like to say they hate Yahtzees. Yeah, it's very. This is something that these insane ideologues like they love to do. They love to get credit for stupid things. Like Yahtzees are bad, aren't they? Yes, Yahtzees are very bad. No, but they're super bad. Yes, Yahtzees are super bad. Oh, I don't like Yahtzees. I don't like the Yahtzees. They're very, very, very bad. Yes, that's what it's like talking to these insane people. I just hate Yahtzees. Well, maybe you hate them. Maybe you want to learn something about them rather than just spout nonsense out your ass. I hate alt-right wing and alt-right white nationalism. Really? Because you seem to love it because you made it up. Because it doesn't fucking exist. So you seem to like it a lot to like justify yourself and like give yourself some like moral value. Look. Here's the truth. This is what they're desperate for having any like moral credibility, which none of them have. None of them have. Here's what you do. If you want to have some credibility, and it's to yourself. It's not to other people. You go and do good stuff. You go and do good things. And here's the trick. Don't tell anybody about it. Go and volunteer at the soup kitchen. Give money. Go and do something. But don't take credit for it. Don't signal how wonderfully virtuous you are. And that will make you happier. It's incredible, I know. But it'll actually make you happier. It's one of those American values that you just called racist. Giving to others. Selflessness, modesty. All these things that you can't understand and you hate would actually make you happier. You are miserable, and they can see it in everything you do. I hate racism in all its forms, he added. Really, did you hate it when again the extreme left wing came into the mainstream of the left wing society and they went against the Jews? They went for the Jews. Listen, it wasn't that long ago, less than a year ago, that England had an election where you had the Tories who were, listen, they didn't come across that well. They didn't come across that great, and they still don't come across that great. But then when you compare them to the other side, the Labour, who were absolutely racist, absolutely anti-Semitic racist. Did you hate it then? I don't think it really bothered you. Are you doing stuff about the anti-Semitism endemic in the and mainstream by the left wings of society? Is that going to be something you're going to comment on? No, of course not, because you're a partisan hack. Kripke will go on to reiterate that he wants to explore modern white supremacy in the show. So if you want to go and explore it, why don't you go and talk to people at a MAGA rally, right? Why don't you go and talk to these waiters, people who think are racist? Why don't you go and do that? Why don't you go and talk to any of the black people voting for Trump, which I think he has triple the support of Black America that any other Republican president of all time has ever had. Triple! It was double, now I think it's up to triple. Which is why they scream racism. But honestly, if Black America wants to have supreme political power forever, I mean, like literally forever, vote Trump in this upcoming election. You know why? Because the Democrats just take your vote for granted. They take your vote for granted and they do nothing for you but make your lives more miserable. I think Trump would not mind paying off on you. Now I understand. Listen, we're getting close to the election. It's people are getting like a little bit fraught by this. And I do know I have people who watch these videos who completely disagree with me in politics. And God bless you. Yeah, it's good that we disagree. I think for have a good functioning society, we should should be able to disagree and say no. I think this, and be able to have that conversation. If anything I'm saying really upsets you, and I mean I have no desire to upset you. If anything I'm saying really upsets you, come and get in contact. We'll come on the channel. We'll have a conversation. We will talk this out. I'm not looking to win. I'm not looking to lose. I'm just looking to have a conversation, which I think is the thing that will save society because it's not going in a good direction. Okay. He explained. I was really interested in exploring that what modern white supremacy looks like. Yeah, exactly. And someone's Watchmen as well. I understand what goes on inside your insane head. Because the boys comment, the character Stormfront is just a straight out Yahtzee, but the white supremacy I see in modern day is cloaked in social media again. I've seen much more direct racism on the other side of the political spectrum. I just have, what can I say? I've never seen anti-Semitism like I have since it's become mainstream by the left wing. Never seen it in my life. They're often very attractive young people who are using social media, but no, they're not. It's not that. Okay, you're talking about Ben Shapiro, you're talking about what's her name, Charlie Kirk, you're talking about people like that, talking about PragerU, and it's not they're charismatic. It's not they're not bamboozling people with their good looks. Ooh, no. It's their arguments are strong. Their arguments are cast iron. Candace Owens. Look, Candace Owens. Stunning person. She's absolutely gorgeous. She's very, very beautiful. She's so smart as well. She's smart. She's got, and it's people aren't like going, oh, Candace Owens is so pretty. I guess I'll just believe what. No, she makes a good, strong argument. And here's why the other side always fell. Because they can't respond to that argument, so they attack the person. That's why they always fell. Who are using social media and are presenting themselves as free thinkers and outside the box. They are. That's why. When really they're just peddling the same old crap people have peddled for 1,000 years. No, that's you! You an idiot! Yeah. Listen. The number one form of anti-Semitism throughout the world is something called blood libels. Blood libels is when you say, look, those Jews do this or that, right? And that's exactly that, and you do that so you don't have to address any of the. You can don't have to address your hatred, right? You could just hatred is completely kosher. Look, Jews use Christian baby blood in their making their unleavened breads for Passover, right? So and then there's just an accepted you. Oh, you accepted. That's what it is. That's of course what it is. So they have the same thing that if you don't vote the same way they are, you clearly hate people with different skin color. That's the way. Nope, that's the way it is. And it's the same, exactly the same thing. Exactly the same thing. How much more of this? I'm not sure how much I can go before vomiting. Oh, I got 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6. So listen. If I throw up on the screen, I might keep it in the video. I think that'd be an interesting video. Kripke has made this point before. Speaking when coming soon back in 2019, August 29, he stated, "I am horrified and sad to see that the rise of right nationalism." Well, you shouldn't be horrified and sad because it doesn't exist. You're crazy. You should be horrified and sad to see it used disingenuously as a political prop to try and force through your political aims. Yeah, that's terrible. Your Holocaust denial to get to your political ends, that's terrible. You should be horrified by that, but I guess you're not. And it's taking a very different form than we saw in the 1940s. Yeah, so different, it's not racist. That's how different it is. That, you have white people, black people, Chinese people, or Jews. Like Muslims, anybody can be part of this white nationalism. Yeah, okay, fine. So maybe it's not so white nationalist if it's not just solely white and nationalist. And it's taking it takes social media savvy to try and attract young men and women. No, again, it's using a good argument. Yeah, those memes you put up in you made for season 2 of The Boys. that's not winning anybody over. Good, strong arguments win people over. People don't like feeling stupid, and they often go with the side that doesn't make them feel so stupid. He went on to say, and so we got really interested in creating a character would represent that for us. I understand. But again, why didn't you go and talk to the people that you're maligning? Why didn't you go and talk to those good Americans that you are currently maligning? I think you're going to end up a little bit surprised. And so, as I would say, it's not the vision in the book, but I would certainly say it's the same rotten soul. The rotten soul is you. Pipley would explain to the Hollywood Reporter that the show draws from current events. Oh, really? All right. Who knew? He stated, we think a lot about current events, but obviously we can't predict the future. No, I can. I can predict who's going to win this next election. I think I can make quite a good prediction about that. This is the same crap now as that was happening when we wrote it in 2018. It wasn't happening then either. People forget that 2 years ago we were dealing with cops pulling over African American men and incredible amount of xenophobia, and there's good people on both sides of white nationalism. Again, 100% a lie. That was 100% a lie, which is exactly the same lie as saying Jews use Christian baby blood, right? 100% a lie. The good people on both sides, as I'm sure most of you watching this video know, was in regards to the original people of that demonstration in Charlottesville. There are people who wanted those monuments torn down. There's people who wanted those monuments kept in place. There were good people on both sides. Then Antifa and KKK, or whoever they were, showed up and they started to fight each other and kill each other. They were bad people on both sides. So how do we know? How do we know that the president wasn't talking about wasn't talking about the racist people or the Antifa people? How do we know he wasn't saying they were one of the good people? Because in the same freaking speech, in the same freaking paragraph, he said, I specifically disavow all these different white nationalism, getting named it over and over again. But no, you want to keep this ongoing lie that there is racism, there is xenophobia. You are the racist. You are the bigot. Not the people you're talking to. There's an incredible amount of xenophobia. No, okay, what's the xenophobia? Are you defining not wanting to have open borders as xenophobia? Then if so, yeah, there is. But if that's the case, you're freaking crazy, you moron. Maybe the Proud Boys weren't a house of word, but Charlottesville was. He elaborated. Yeah, exactly, and I've just showed you how you were lying through your teeth. He then went on to say, we write a lot about what frankly frustrates us. Well, really? And how's that going for you? How's that working out, Hollywood? Writing things that frankly frustrate you. Do you think people are buying into it? Not really so much, are they? They're not. Maybe you want to just remember that you need to write to pay your mortgage, to put food on your table, and if that was what you had in your head, maybe you would do a better job, because you do a freaking terrible job. Living in the world's dumbest dystopia. Well, you are the dumbest people I've ever met, and we happen to have lucked into a show that's a perfect metaphor for this exact moment. Not by design. I think we discovered it. Okay, aren't you wonderful? And because of that, we sort of feel both an obligation and a sort of gleeful mischievousness to chase it down as far as we can, and really talk about the things in the world that really bothering us. He added. Okay, fine, that's nice. So, but the thing is, you may be talking about things in the world that are really bothering us, but the thing bothering you, the things in the world that are really bothering you is us. And we're kind of tired of it, and we're not buying your crap anymore. You're a moron. You're ignorant. You know nothing about what you're talking about, and you have so much pride in your moronic ignorance. My name is Phil Bacon, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.